Hello my partners in crime and welcome back to Murder Analysed for another true crime case, Unsolved Missing. So this is part of our campaign for the missing to highlight lots of different people who's missing. We can only do 20, that's all we can do. I'd love to do more and continue, but it's just that there's just so many people go missing, and I think on case 20 I'll go through some statistics with you. But this is now case 18. We're now on the 18th of December 2021, and this is case 18, and this is a missing Ansdell man. Now this is Shane Graham case, and now Shane again just vanished like the rest of the missing that we've been talking about throughout these days and throughout these cases. It's just that they just disappear and nothing's ever seen of them again. Now Shane was 26 at the time of his disappearance, and he disappeared on April the 26th 2016. Shane worked as a landscaper for this artificial grass company, and he was working on a house actually in Eddington Road when he disappeared, or when he was last seen actually. Now for people that live in this area, and you'll see by the maps, now Shane was last seen walking down Eddington Road towards this inner promenade down there. Now I know down that way you have the sea, you have the sea, aren't you? You're on the sea. So there is water there, right? So lots of people, this is again, I think, a holiday destination for a lot of people. So if anyone was around in this April time and you can remember seeing anything out of the ordinary and didn't take much notice of it then, maybe these photographs and stuff like that will trigger your memory. So again, just think where you may have been on. I know it's difficult, 2016, to think back, but some people have just gone there on holiday, and that may have been their one holiday in that place. So they may have seen something, you just never know. So listen, he was walking down there. His last text message sent to his boss was timed at 10:39 a.m. and then that was it. Nothing else after that. Doesn't actually say what the text message was about. It really doesn't say much at all. But he literally just walked out of this job like he was going to get a cup of tea or something else. Walked out and that was it. Never saw him. No one has ever seen or heard from this boy since. Now he had his own flat, he had his own property that he was living in. He was a working man, he was a 26-year-old man. Everything seemed to be okay with him. But in his flat, when they was actually looking for him, because he wasn't reported missing for a few days, because of this, because he was a working man and adult, lived on his own, and it wasn't until the sort of family noticed that, well, we haven't heard from him in a while, and this happens quite a lot. They think, hang on, it's been a few days, we haven't heard from him, we usually hear from him all the time. That then the alarm was raised. So when they went into his flat to have a look and see if he was there, he could have been unconscious, anything could have happened. So they had to get into his flat. They found around £300 worth of rent money that had just been left in the flat. Now, so that rules out, doesn't it, really then, running away. Because if you're going to run away and run off and start a new life, you wouldn't leave £300 rent money. Unless, right, and it has happened, and because I like to keep and I'd like to know your opinion on this. Some people, though, when they want to run away and start again, they don't like to leave any debt, any loose ends behind. Even though his family stuff he would have left, would he then have left the rent money, because that clears that up? That's not on his mind. There's lots of reasons, but there's also a lot of reasons why someone would leave their rent money there to be paid, because they're expecting to come back to that property. So again, because we don't know what's happened to Shane, it's down really now, I think, to public, because there is nothing else. It's just down to anything that may trigger your memories to find out what happened to this boy. Did he do something to himself? Was he depressed and down and no one really knew? Had he just had enough? Could have been. Could he have walked out of there, as I say, this job, to get a coffee, have a chat? He texted his employer. As I said, we don't know what's in that last text. Expecting to come back to that job, and then some foul play has happened along the way. There's many things, isn't there, that could have happened. But of course the hospitals would have been checked, everything would have been checked, especially by now, everything would have been checked, and there is no sign of this lad. Now no one knows if this lad had reasons why he just wanted to disappear, because that could be it. He's like, I'm off, I've had enough of this, he needs to leave for some reason. But as it stands, his family can't think of any reason why this lad would just pick up and leave everything he knew and never contact them again. It's a very strange case, this. So it's either foul play or he's run off. The Shane is described as white. He's described having light brown cropped hair, and you'll see by the pictures he had blue eyes, or has blue eyes. He was wearing his work clothes. That's what he was wearing. A black hoodie top and black work pants, and padded knees. Now my husband's got them. Anyone who works in construction, you'll know. And I just think, you know, you're wearing this, and he's wearing his work boots and everything else. Are you going to run away at that time in the morning? If you are, why? There must be a reason why. So if anyone knows that reason why that Shane would do this, please ring Crime Stoppers, someone. There is a reward out actually here on this case as well, to even let them know that. Because sometimes for the family, if they understand why the person's gone, it's easier, isn't it, to understand that, to take that. You know, at the moment, this family know nothing, know absolutely nothing. But if he did go off, he went off in quite a hurry, I think, in his work clothes and their £300 in his flat. I hate to say it because his family really believe, but you know, to me it does sound like a bit of foul play, or he may have decided that's enough's enough for any reason, but we don't know. So as I said, he had close friends, he had lots of people that knew him, they don't seem to know anything, but sometimes people hold back because they think they don't want to hurt the family, they don't want to put his reputation down. But anything that you know that may have made this lad go off for any reason, please come forward and say. It really is time now to do this. Now Shane had links to Tamworth and to Staffordshire, so he could be in them places, or London, because most of them come to London, but then they sort of leave after a while in London. They know London ain't the greatest place to come, but so if he's got some links or something in Tamworth or Staffordshire, he may be there. Anyone within any information should contact the police, ringing 101, quoting reference number 1507, and that was of May 9th 2016. So it may have changed now. You can just say his name and just say what you know, that will be fine. And this, you know, I feel really, I really feel bad for these, because Tracy, you know, who lives in Wolverhampton, said that the appeal now is for Shane to let us know that he is fine. And as she said, they don't need to know where he is, they just really need to know he's okay. You know, if you're out there, Shane, you haven't got to come back, right? You've just got to ring Crime Stoppers, ring the police, just tell them something that only you know, and you can go on your way, because all your family wants, or any of them, is literally to know that you're safe and well. That's all they want. That's it, all they want. Now his mother said on his 3rd anniversary, it was a very difficult day for her. Listen, it must be a very difficult day every day. But I think the day, you know, the anniversary of his disappearance is difficult for their family, and for any family with a missing child, no matter what their age. Really, that anniversary is heart-wrenching for these, because a lot of these people really expect their loved ones to be home by then, and as the years go on and this still continues on, I don't think it gets any easier, especially coming up to around the period of their disappearance. But I think what she really thought, that she had it on her mind that after 3 years he would have come back, he would have had enough then. You know, he could have done the off, and he's got to do what he's got to do, and he'd had enough. He would have wanted to see them, you know. And a lot of families do think this, and sometimes people do disappear and are never seen again, and that's by choice. That's by choice. Sometimes, as I say, there's other reasons why they can't come home, and that's because of foul play. But it's just sad, isn't it? And it gives you an insight really into this, the parents, and into how hard these parents are you know, what I call the survivors of these missing kids, and that is their kids, even though he was 26, he's their beloved son. She just wants him back. That's all. She just, you know, and as she says, she doesn't, now as time's gone on, she can let go a little bit, but she just needs to know he's safe. That's all she really wants to know. So Shane now would be 31 years old. 31. He has a niece he's never met. His family continue to run a Facebook page, and as I said to anyone, if you have any information, please put it, but only if it's really credible, right? If you know something that sort of no one else knows, hasn't been brought up before, because these families, including this family, are sometimes put through things, and as I've said before, in other cases that we've done, where we've had hoaxes, we've had lots of different things going on. Credible information that you actually believe to be true. You know, not something, because in this case, people have made up things, and it's the heartache on these families. It's what all the hope and dreams they think are now coming to fulfillment. They found him, they've seen him, the sighting of him, you know where he is, and then it turns out that it's none of that, and then the heartache that causes is terrible. Now, I've been on this Facebook, and it's Facebook page, and it's called Find Shane Graham, and it's the main group to keep this search alive. Now, I was searching, I couldn't find a lot on Shane at all, and this Facebook is running, it's got about 700 and something people on it, but there hasn't been anything put up for a very long time. So in one way, I'm hoping I've got this case wrong, and this lad has been found. Not that I could find anything on it at all, anything, whether he was found alive or dead, I don't know. But I have searched, we have done a lot of searching, and we can't, but I did find the Facebook group. It is still running, and there's been no mention on there, because sometimes you do have a lot also of people putting online that these people have been found, which stops people putting out their appeals for information, even though they haven't been found. So as far as I'm concerned, at present time of the 18th of December 2021, this boy has not been found. As far as we are aware, he hasn't been found, and so this is what this appeal is about, for information. And so this is what I'm talking about. In 2017, this family was targeted by really a cruel texting troll. Right? Now, luckily, the laws are in force, and we have now technology, don't we, where we can track these people down, literally, no matter how much they try and hide. Plus, though, this person was tracked down in 2017. He said he had claimed to have found Shane living on the streets of Manchester, but when police searched the area, he was nowhere to be found. Lancashire police traced the texter, and it emerged that he had concocted the whole entire story, really. You know, listen, you're always going to get idiots, right? I'm going to say it, you're always going to get idiots, got nothing better to do than sit there and try and make up things. Some people, though, that do this trolling and stuff are unwell, right? They're unwell, and, you know, sometimes they do believe what they're saying is true. So you've got two different types of things. So this man was, you know, he did concoct the whole story, and as I said, gave these people hope, didn't they? Gave them hope that their son was still alive, and he wasn't. A possible sighting of Shane earlier that year at Mark Kelly's bar in Fleet. That was also never verified, really, and there was also, it was reported to his family that on CCTV footage was taken on the night, but it had been routinely taped over. God, you just think, for Christ's sake. You know what I mean? The thing is, the police and everyone, because this boy, as I've said before, so you can't blame the police for this one, right? You can't blame anyone really for this one. You're talking about an adult that's got his own flats working. He's a lad, 26-year-old, he's out and about, he's got his own mates. He's not at home every night waiting, you know, they're not waiting for him every night to come home. So for the first few days, no, they didn't realise he was missing. By this time, CCTVs roll round and they're recorded over. Right, they're recorded over because they're used and used and used, and this is what happens. So if you don't get to the CCTV footage quickly, it has gone forever. There is no way of getting that footage back. which is very, very unfortunate here, because there probably would have been something on this CCTV that would have helped this investigation. I think there's been reports as well of, Instagram posting this. People look similar, don't they? Of course they do. But the thing is, none of these have ever turned up with any credible, results. Not really. There's just nothing. So listen, this heartfelt plea made directly to her son from Tracy said, Shane, if you ever wondered how we are without you, there is no words in our lives. We are thinking of you constantly. It's life without peace, without direction, without focus. Life without you is life without everything. I want you with every beat of my heart. Now this mother has tirelessly searched, and his dad, done everything she can to find her child. So please, if you know anything, can you come forward and say something? It's really, really good if you could, because I always say, people always know something. There's always someone that knows something, someone that may have that little piece of information, but they think's irrelevant. Oh, I better not say it, I could be wrong. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Now, if Shane, for any reason, ran off, then someone must know that reason why. And if you can just let the family or the police or Crime Stoppers or someone know why that you believe that that may have happened, why he may have gone off himself or run off or took his own life. That's also a possibility here. It's really important that you say, because people need answers. It's been years now going on, and there is no sighting of this boy anywhere up until today. I really want to end with what this mum says to her child in this appeal. She said, there is nothing on this earth that could make me stop loving you. You are my son, I made you. You are a part of me. And really, I think that sums it up, doesn't it? Because wouldn't we all think that, we all do think that about our sons and our kids, don't we? They're part of us, aren't we? Aren't they? They're just part of us. They belong to us. And when they can't come home, you can't get them, can't help them. The stress on these parents, and especially on this mother, is heartbreaking. So please, if you have any information, please come forward. Please come forward. So 5 years on, now nearly 6, I think. His mum, his dad, Ron, a sister, Carissa, still have no solid clues to his whereabouts at all. Tracy says it's a horrible, horrible thing. The only leads that have ever been around have been hoaxes. That's it. There's been nothing credible at all. So anyone with information, you're urged to contact actually Lancashire Police on 101, quoting that login that I gave you earlier. It's all up there. I don't know if it's still the same login, because this is from 2016. If you would prefer, you can remain anonymous, and please do that, because it doesn't matter. Contact Crime Stoppers on 0800 555 111 or use their online reporting service at www.crimestoppers/uk.org. Now, again, with Crime Stoppers, please note, and actually with the police you don't have to either, no personal details are taken. Information cannot be traced or be recorded of you, and you will not have to go to court for any of it, right? For any of these missing case people, no court appearances. Just say what you know. Alternatively, you can phone or text missing people on 116 000 or email 11600@missingpeople.org.uk. That's .org.uk. Quoting reference 16003348. Now, Missing Peoples is Missing People, www.missingpeople.org.uk, and then /Shane Graham /16 003348. If you have any information, there's all different ways that you can do it. Please, let's try, because listen, Christmas is coming up. This is the whole reason why we've decided to do, isn't it, these cases, to highlight, because at this time of year these families are grieving enough and they have to get through Christmas now not knowing what happened to their children. So any information that you may have, as I always say, loyalties change, don't they? They change. Please, if you know anything, say what you know in this case. So again, you know what to do. You can put your thumbs up if you've liked it. You can subscribe. You can hit that bell button. I would much appreciate it. But more importantly, talk about these cases. Please look at the pictures. Share them out. Just if you know anything, say it. So, till the next time. Bye-bye.